Hello everyone, this is the Aptitude guy, and this video is the very first lesson video on this channel. I decided to start with a very important logical reasoning topic, which is of course coding and decoding. As we all know, if at all a company asks questions on logical reasoning, then coding and decoding is definitely there. I've decided to split this topic into two parts, and this is part 1. So without any further ado, let's begin. Now let's first understand the concept of coding and decoding. Coding and decoding is nothing but encryption and decryption. That is protecting your data and reading that protected data. Now, where can we use this in a normal day scenario? Let's see. So this is a classroom setting. Now this guy and this guy have decided to bunk the next class. This is the first bencher and this guy is the last bencher. Now, obviously, it's around 1:30 p.m. over here. They are pretty tired after a good heavy lunch and they want to probably take a nap. Now, their decision of bunking the next class depends on the data of which class is it next, which subject is it next. That's a pretty smart move, I would say. Now, this guy somehow gets to know that the next class is the aptitude class. Now, he has to inform him. But the problem is he can't walk up to him, he can't shout it out, he can't text him, he can't call him. Now what is the only way to do? He decides to go old school. What he will do is he will write down the word aptitude on a chit of paper and then he will pass it along everybody over here. Now the problem with this method is every single person sitting between them is a bunch of stereotypical Indian auntie. That means they have absolutely no sense of privacy. Every single person will open the chit and read what is written inside of it. And both of them do not want that to happen, obviously. So what do they do to protect their information? In the beginning of this present class, what they do is they decide whoever gets to know which class is it next will write this data on a chit of paper, but with a slight twist. They decide to encrypt the data with the key of +1. What does that mean now? +1 means they will encrypt this data according to the English alphabet. And in the English alphabet, what comes after A? What is A plus 1? We have B. What is P plus 1? P, Q. What is T plus 1? T, U. I, J. T, U again. U, V. D, after D we have E. And after E we have F. So this guy writes this nonsense on this chit. This is absolute nonsense. This makes no sense at all. And then he passes this chit along everybody over here until it finally reaches him. Now all these Indian aunties, they open the chit and read what is written inside of it. And can they make any sense of this word? Absolutely not. And then it finally reaches him, our main guy. And he also reads this and can't understand it. But he knew the key to encode the message was +1. So how will he decode the message now? Of course, using -1. And when he uses -1 on this word, he gets back aptitude and then they can decide whether to bunk the next class or not. That's it. This is a very simple example of coding and decoding. Of course, the questions that you get in the examination will not be this simple, but this is a simple example of that. Now, the kind of questions you will get in the examination will look something like this. So this is question number 1. Pause the video and take as much time as you need in order to solve it, and then unpause the video and then come back and see the solution. Let's begin. So we have this word. Circumstance is coded as this word. Now the first thing we have to do is we have to figure out what is the logic behind this encoding, behind this encryption. So we have CRUSAC. And if you look over here, you will find all those letters. We have CRUSAC. And then we have ICMTNE. We have ICMYK. T, N, E. All those letters are rearranged over here. Basically, all the alternate letters will come first and then the other alternate letters will come next. So the same logic has to be applied to happiness over here. Now, many of you would have gotten the correct answer, but I will tell you a trick to help you get there faster. Because all of us know that in an aptitude test, accuracy is one thing, but speed is another thing. We need to be accurate, we need to be correct, but we also need to be quick. So how do we save our time? Let's see. Always remember your best friend in coding and decoding is elimination. Elimination is your best friend when it comes to coding and decoding. Now how to use this? Let me show you. So the same logic is applied to happiness. HPIES. Alright. So we'll see in the options what can be eliminated. We have HPIES. So here we have HPEIS. This is absolutely wrong. HPISE. This is also wrong. HPIES, HPIES. So option C and option D, one of these two will be correct. Option A and B are definitely wrong. So don't even need to go to them. Don't even need to read them again. That is how you save your time. After that we have A, P, N, S. Now option C has PANS. So this is also wrong. So the only thing left out is option D. So you see, when we figured out the second half of the code, we didn't even have to read option A and option B. That is how we save our time. The answer is option D. Done. Now this question we actually did not save much time. You'll see in the future questions just how much time we save. Alright. If at all you understood this, that's amazing. A like would be awesome. If at all you still have some doubts in this question, definitely drop them in the comment section. Let's move on to the next question. Now as usual, pause the video, see if you can solve this question and then unpause and then come back. Alright, let's begin. So we have structure and this code. Let's see what could be the key to encode this message. So we have S to T. We have T after S, so this is +1. Now we have T to V. In ABCD, in the English alphabet, we have T, U, V. So this is +2. Then we have R to U, R, S, T, U. So this is +3. And so on and so forth. So the key over here is +1, +2, +3 and so on and so forth. So the same thing has to be applied to remedy. So we have +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 and +6. Now how do we save our time over here? Here is the thing. If you look at the options, do you see something common over here? Of course, we have SGP, 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 SGP. Every single option has SGP. So do we need to even figure out the first three letters over here? Absolutely not. We already know that it is SGP. So we can directly start with E plus 4. What is E plus 4? E, F, G, H, I. So we have I over here. Alright, we have I over here. Now let's look at the options. We have I over here. Okay, we have E over here. So option B is wrong. We have I here. We have I here. Alright. So option B is definitely wrong. Don't go back to it again. Then we have D plus 5. What is D plus 5? D, E, F, G, H, I. So again we have an I over here. Let's see. Over here we have J. So this is wrong. Over here we have H. So this is wrong. Over here we have I. So obviously everything else is wrong. The only thing left out is option D. And that is the correct answer. So out of 6 letters over here, how many letters did we actually have to figure out? Just these 2. That is what I'm talking about. Using the elimination method, you could find out the correct answer just by figuring out 2 letters out of 6 letters. That is 1/3 of the number of letters. That is how much time you're saving. You're saving 66% of your time. And that's amazing. Again, as usual, if you understood this, that's awesome. If you did not, if you have some doubts, drop your doubts in the comment section. Let's move on to the next question. Again, pause the video and try to solve it, and then come back. Alright, let's do it. So we have the word barricade and it is coded as this word. This question generally confuses a lot of people. Now, this is how you can actually figure out the code in a very simple manner. All you have to do is look at the code properly. We have A, B, C, D, E. If the code starts with A, B, C, D, E, that obviously means that the same word, all the letters are rearranged in the alphabetic order. All these letters are rearranged alphabetically. Alright, so the same thing has to be repeated for individual now. That's all, alphabetically. So do we have an A in individual? Of course we have. So the first thing we have is A. Does this help us eliminate anything? No, every single option starts with A. Okay, let's move on. Does it have a B? No. C? No. D? Yes, we have two D's over here. Alright, now let's look at the options again. Option C has two I's. So of course this is wrong. And yeah, that's it. DD, DD and DD. Now after that, E is not there. F, G, H, nothing is there. But there are three I's over here. Alright, so we have I. So obviously option D is wrong because it has I. That cannot happen. We have I and we have triple I over here also. Now the only difference between option A and option B is LN and NL. In the English alphabet, in ABCD, what comes first? L or N? Of course, L comes first, LMNOP. So obviously, L has to come in the front of N. So obviously, option B is wrong. Option A is correct. Alright, so after getting each and every letter, the first thing you should do is look at the options and see which one you can eliminate. That will help you save your time later on. Alright, so the answer is option A. Any doubts again, please drop them in the comment section. Let's move on to the next question now. Question number 4. Pause the video, try to solve it. Alright, let's begin. We have the word ground and we have this coded version. Let's try to decode it. G to H. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So after G we have H, so we have +1. R to P. We have P, Q, R. So over here it is going behind. So this is going behind by how many steps? 2 steps. So this is -2. And then O to R. O, P, Q, R. P, Q, R. So it's going front. It's going forward by 3 steps. So that is what is happening. +1, -2, +3, -4, +5, -6. Actually, in these kind of questions, it will come in very handy if at all, if you have an aptitude test going on and you know these kind of questions are coming. It will be very handy if you could write A to Z very quickly in the rough sheet which is given to you. That way you can figure all this out very, very quickly. Okay. So now let's apply the same logic to nourish. Let's see if it helps out. So we have +1, -2, +3, -4 and so on. What is n plus 1? N plus 1 is of course O. Now let's look at the options. Option A starts with O. Alright. Option B starts with M. This is wrong. Option C also starts with M. Gone. Option D starts with O. Alright. So option B and option C are 100% wrong. We are left with option A and option D. Okay. Now O minus 2. O minus 2 is M. MNOP, of course. Now option A also has M and option D also has M. So that doesn't help us anymore right now. Okay. U plus 3. U, V, W, X. So we have X over here. Option D has V. So this is of course wrong. And option A has X. So obviously option A is the correct answer. We had 7 letters over here. Out of 7 letters, how many did we figure out? Only 3 letters. That's it. That is all that we had to do. 3 out of 7 letters, that is less than half the time taken. That's awesome. Any doubts over here again? Let me know in the comments. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Pause the video and try to solve it. Alright, let's begin. Now this question is different from all the questions that came before it. Why so? Because in all the other questions, we had the word here and we had to encode it. Here also we had the word and we had to encode it. In the previous questions also we had done the same thing. But in question number 5, what is happening is the coded version is already given to us. We have to decode it. Which of the words is coded as this? So we have to decode it. Now in order to decode it, first we need to know the key to encode it, of course. Let's see. So M to N. We have +1, of course. N comes after N. After A, we have Z. Okay. Z to A to Z. We are going from A to Z. So that is -1. Then again J to K. +1. E to D. Again, we are going one step back. So -1. So +1, -1, +1, -1, so on and so forth. This is going on. Now, in this question, we have to decode this word. Now, to encode, it was +1, -1, +1, -1. So, to decode, it will be -1, +1, -1, +1. Basically, the exact opposite of this. That's it. Now, let's see how we can save our time. First of all, look at the options. Do you see something common? Yes, you do. We have GL, 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 GL. So we don't even have to care about the first 2 letters. It will obviously be GL. Now we have J -1. J -1 is of course I. Now let's look at the options. We have O over here, gone. We have I, okay. We have O here, again, gone. We have I, safe. So our answer is either option B or option D. Let's see. L +1. L +1 is of course M. And this one has S. So of course option B also is wrong. The correct answer remaining is of course option D. How many letters did we figure out? Only 2 letters out of 7 letters. 2 out of 7. That is amazing. Figuring out only 2 letters gave us the correct answer instead of figuring out all the 7 letters. This is how you save your time. Just getting the right answer is not enough many times. You have to get there quicker. Now there is another way to solve this question by figuring out only 1 letter. Because here we figured out 2 letters, right? How do we get to the answer by figuring out only 1 letter? Let me tell you. Now if you look at the options, if you look at all the options and if you look at the last letter of every single option, what do you see? Y, N, G, E. That means if we can figure out the last letter of this word, that's it. Whatever matches, that is the answer. So we don't have to figure out anything else. Let's do that. So we have -1 +1, -1 +1, -1 +1, -1. So what is F -1? F -1 is of course E. And which one has E? Obviously option D has E. So we don't have to care about anything that comes before it. We know that the correct answer ends with E and option D is the only option that ends with E. Done. That is the answer. This is why you need to keep your eyes open to see where you can save your time. Wherever you see something is all unique, try to figure that out and forget about the rest of the word. It's just that simple. Any doubts? Please drop them in the comments. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 6. This one might take you a little bit of time. please pause the video, take as much time as you need and try to solve this question. And then of course come back for the solution. Alright, let's do it. Now here we have registration and then we have this code. Let's try to break down this code. You know, the first thing that you should check out in a code is if all these letters exist in the actual word or not. The same thing happened in the very first question. In circumstance and in this code, every single letter exists in this word. So if at all every single letter exists in that word, then it is some arrangement of the same letter. It's not plus something, it's not minus something. It's the same word written in a different order. We just need to figure out that order. So let's do that. Let's figure out the order. We have T-S-I-G-E-R. Okay. Now what we have to do here is we have to split this word into two halves. We have T-S-I-G-E-R, T-S-I-G-E-R. And then we have N-O-I-T-A-R. So we have N-O-I-T-A-R. So we split the word into two halves and then every single half we write it the opposite way. That is what we are doing. Now we apply the same logic to the word accurate. We split it into two halves. First the opposite of this and then the opposite of this. So we have UCCA. UCCA. Let's look at the options. We have UCCA, UCAC gone, UACC gone, UCCA. Alright. Then we have ETAR. ETAR. This has TEAR, so this is of course wrong. Only option A is remaining. Of course, that is the correct answer. Now let me tell you something about this topic which might make you feel a little better. In case you got one wrong or two wrong or three wrong, it's completely okay. See, in aptitude tests, there are certain topics like this topic, of course, coding and decoding. And then there are topics like letter series, number series, where you have to be okay with the fact that you will not get all the right answers. Why? Because those questions can have absolutely infinite number of logics and keys. It's not humanly possible for you to figure out every single key every single time. Right now, where you're in the comfort of your home, you may be able to do that. But you're in the exam and you have exam anxiety and the time is running out, you may not be able to figure it out. So let me tell you one suggestion about these kind of questions. Give yourself 90 seconds. Okay? In these 90 seconds, if you are able to figure out the logic, then continue with the question. But in 90 seconds, if you're not able to figure out the logic, then please move on to the next question. If there is negative marking, then move on to the next question. If there is no negative marking, then do inky pinky ponky and then move on to the next question. But do not waste more than 90 seconds in figuring out the logic itself. Okay? That way it will just waste your time and nothing else. You can rather save that time and then solve some other questions which might actually give you the correct answer. Okay? So please keep this in mind. Don't waste your time and don't get stuck on a question. It's okay to leave some questions once in a while. It's fine. Now these questions were type 1 of coding and decoding. Now we'll talk about type 2 of coding and decoding, and these questions are extremely simple. These are the two questions. Now please pause the video, solve both these questions. Alright, and then we'll come back and discuss both the answers. Alright, now I am guessing that your answer for the 7th one was brown and for the 8th one was table. Many of you would have gotten these two answers. But here is the thing. If you got the 7th answer as brown, congratulations, this is absolutely correct. But if you got the 8th answer as table, that unfortunately is wrong. Now, why so? First of all, let's understand why you marked brown and table for both of them. Because you thought that question number 8 and question number 7 are the same type of question. They are not. They are actually similar, but they are not the same. The stark difference between both of them is this phrase, is called as and means. Alright. So first, before telling the differences between the two, let me first discuss the 7th question in case you did not get the correct answer. The question is, what is the color of human blood called as? Alright. Now, human blood is red in color, and in the question they have clearly mentioned red is called as brown. So the color of human blood is now called as brown. Please note that this does not mean the color has changed. The color is still red. The color is this color itself. It just means that this color is now called as brown. That means the name of this color has changed, but the color stays the same. This color is now called brown. It's no more called red. So now human beings, you and I, have red colored blood. But what will we say it has? It has, we human beings have brown colored blood. It is actually this color, but the name of this color is brown now. It's not red anymore, it's brown. Okay, just the name is changing, not the color. That is what it means. Now, why didn't it work out for 8? If at all you got table as the answer, what did you do? You read the question the same way. What is the name of the object that is used to clean the blackboard? What is the object that is used to clean the blackboard? Of course, a duster. And then you read duster means table, and so you mark table as the answer. But that, unfortunately, is the wrong answer. Now, how to figure out which side to go, whether to take this side of means or this side of means, whether to take this side of is called as or this side of is called as. How to figure that out? Always remember these two phrases for these type of question. The first phrase is object is called as name, and the second phrase is name means object. Okay, name means object. So when the phrase of is called as is used, when this phrase is used, the word that comes after is called as is the name. So here red is called as brown. So the name is brown over here because it comes after is called as. Okay, and after that over here when it comes to means, the first word is the name. Okay, so if it says red is called as brown, it can also be said as brown means red. Similarly, they have mentioned what is the name of the object that is used to clean the blackboard. Okay, which object is that is used to clean the blackboard? Of course, a duster. That is the object. Now, dash means object. Name means object. What means duster? Sharpener means duster. So the correct answer of the 8th question is option B. That is sharpener. Now, if at all in this question, in the 8th question, if at all I replace all the means with is called as, this one also is called as, this one also is called as, then the answer for this question would be table, because then it would say duster is called as table. Then what is the name of that object? Of course, table. But since they have mentioned means, the first word is the name, not the second word. The second word is the object. Okay, another way to look at this is, suppose this is me. What is my name? This guy is called the aptitude guy. Alright, this is the object. This guy is the object. This object, this guy, is called as the aptitude guy. And if at all somebody asks you, the aptitude guy means who? The aptitude guy means this person. So you see the difference? Object is called as name, and the name means object. So whenever you get confused between is called as and means when it comes to these kind of questions, just use yourself as an example. I am called as my name. and my name means me. That's it. Alright, if you still have some doubt in this, definitely drop them in the comment section with some specific doubts. I'll definitely try to answer them in the comments. Now this was the end of part 1 of coding and decoding. Now just to give you a small task, what I have here is a few extra questions, just 3 of them, the same type of questions that we did just now in the video. Pause the video, take a screenshot of these questions and solve them at your own time, and then drop your answers in the comments. I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Alright, so that was it for the first video. Thank you so much, and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next video. The next video will be about coding and decoding part 2, where we'll be learning more types of questions about coding and decoding. Thank you so much.